Hello and welcome to the Listening Post's unboxing channel on YouTube. Today I'm unboxing NAD's C388, a 150 watt integrated amplifier. This sort of hybrid amplifier is an amazing array of digital ins, quality analog circuitry for phono stages and a wonderful controlled sound. In its price, probably the best available. So let's have a look. Firstly, its boxing. NAD's classic series is always boxed in a very muted sort of design. The only splash of colour is the NAD's logo itself. There is scan information about the product and serial number on one end, emulated on the other. There is an awesome line drawing, so you kind of understand what's in the box. So this is the rear of the unit, featuring the modular construction that NAD is now renowned for. I'll speak more about those, but it's a first glimpse. Its inputs and outputs and other things are delineated in a line drawing, emulation of the scan information, and then again a line drawing of the front. Opening these is really straightforward. They're sealed with basic packing tape, so it's as easy as just sort of a simple little cut and they're in. The top layer of the amplifier, at the top of the box, is protected with an additional layer of cardboard that just sort of protects against someone maybe a little bit heavy-handed with their craft knife opening them. The first thing that you'll see as we drill in is an accessory pack. Now that's to hold the power cords. These again, this is taped in place. It won't surprise me if this isn't actually a New Zealand power cord, as, no, it is. That's awesome to see. So this has been supplied with a New Zealand power cord. Many other versions are supplied with international power cords, and then others are provided via a courier bag or care package. Okay. There's a basic operational setup guide. Now this is just how the inputs and outputs work, how to plug it in, how to get the basics operating. It doesn't dive into the deepest setup or anything along those lines. Okay, look for a moment. Off to this side is the accessory package, so to speak. It's got a cardboard sleeve and some foam. In the sleeve we've got NAD's remote control. It's a basic remote control. It's fully functioned though, obviously. The end is protected with a sort of semi-sticky layer, and it reveals the operation of the remote. It's got everything in it you would need. It sits well in the hand with a curved bottom, and it means that the main functions are easily operated with the thumb, whether you be left or right-handed. In the pack there is also an aerial. Now this is for the Bluetooth. This isn't a Wi-Fi enabled product, although it can be with the additional modules. The aerial is there for Bluetooth. And there's some AA batteries. Now the amplifier is relatively heavy, so it's important when it's time to unpack it that you do it by taking the box off the product, not the product, off the box. There's a desiccant bag sort of in the back there, we'll get rid of that, and then the amplifier is supported with 4 corners of closed cell foam. The amplifier is inside an oversized plastic bag. It's taped closed with a round sticky dot. Slipping the bag off is very straightforward. I recommend just sort of quietly doing it like that. And then the front is protected with a synthetic sort of polished cloth bag. So looking at it for the first time, you'll see an emulation of the classic NAD design. It's muted, there's nothing shouty or colourful about this. It's designed to do its job. It's designed to do its job very well, but not sit there and scream at you from a design element perspective. You will see this classic design is emulated in so many of the other products from NAD, including their preamps and smaller integrated amplifiers, all look at a glance very similar. In the top corner here we have NAD's logo, and beneath it is a simple relay based switch for power. There is a tricolour LED beneath it, orange, red and blue. There's operation here in the up, down, left, right. This is how we enter the menu and change setups and inputs and all sorts of types of things as far as what you'd expect. I think most importantly you can turn off unused inputs. It's kind of important for a slight reduction of noise floor, but mainly as we look at some of the other things, you can turn off the unused ones so you're not skipping through things. There is a very well thought out 6 1/4 headphone output and a big front display. This is full colour, although most of the display is basically white. We've got hybrid digital DAC amplifier and its model number, which of course is the C388. Beside the display is the source input and output. Of course it relates to how you'll set it up so that you're not scrolling through unnecessary inputs. And there's NAD's volume control. Now this is a plastic knob, but it has a lovely fit and finish to it. Tilting it forward for a moment, you see a couple of things. Firstly, the MDC, or Modular Design Construction logo. This is alluding to some of the things we're going to see at the back and the upgradability or flexibility of this product to match your requirements very, very easily. You'll also see a lot of ventilation. This is a digital hybrid amplifier, so it does run efficiently, but it still runs quite hot. And with an excellent DAC on board and other features, it's good to see that they've chosen to well ventilate the product. You'll see it's not very deep, but it's not shallow either. The circuit topography has been well thought out, and a chassis size like this enables them to put some of the potentially noisy products away from things that can be affected by it. At the rear, I guess this is where some of the magic happens. The first, although boring when it is just sort of blanked off like this, the first and pretty important is the MDC modules. This allows you to add balanced inputs. In this unit it allows you to add BlueOS, NAD's streaming, that supports sort of 15, 16 different streaming things along with wireless. You can also add an HDMI module, so you can get the audio out of your TV via ARC, or you could use it for a high-end CD player or Blu-ray player via the HDMI. We've got over beside those two modules the aerial. Now that's for Bluetooth. Attaching the aerial is very, very straightforward. Like any Wi-Fi aerial, it just simply goes in. You've got a USB. Now that's specific for servicing. Software and other things like that are used from here. There's no useful use for an end user, so pretty much ignore it. Beneath it are two optical digital inputs, both labelled 1 and 2. Kind of boring, but in the setup of it you can label them to whatever you might like. Sky television, audio return, whatever it might be. You've got two coaxial digital inputs, again just marked coax 1 and 2. You've got a dedicated moving magnet phono preamp, and above it a good quality binding post for a ground terminal. You've got two line inputs, single-ended, and then a pre-out, which can be set up as either a full frequency stereo pre-out or an equalized managed subwoofer output. You've got IR in and out and trigger in and out, of which probably the trigger out is probably the most useful to add another power amp, or perhaps the input when you turn on the CD player. This will light up. Above that control we've got RS232. Now this is because these products can be controlled from any manner of different automation systems and allow somebody wandering around the house with keypads or tablets to control this. Over here we've got the A and B speaker outputs. Now these are unusually labelled with red and blue. It's just kind of a branding thing for BlueOS and Blue Sound and NAD. The binding posts are a 5-way binding post. They're good quality but plastic, and they have a fitting or a screw for bare wire. Should you be utilising spades, obviously underneath, and then it's very straightforward to remove these plastic clips if required to utilise the amplifier with banana plugs. Okay. Now the boring bits over this side, we've got a basic rocker switch for power, IEC input, and beneath it a fuse and a fuse, yep, and a holder for a spare fuse. Okay. So there we have this lovely feature-rich amplifier, 150 watts a channel, Bluetooth on board, digital inputs, phono stage, but I guess most importantly, lovely, lovely sound and modular in its design. The NAD C388 integrated amplifier, unboxed here at the Listening Post in Christchurch, New Zealand. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, subscribe to our channel.